Well, we have some things to talk about today, and we are going to talk about them live next.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey. Today's episode is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Gametime today. What time is it? Game time. As you see, I'm by myself. Brian's coming home from Vegas. We will be together for Fan Mail Friday. By the way, submit your Fan Mail Friday questions below if you can. The pinned comment is not there, but I will look for your questions anyway. So thank you for that in advance. Before we get started, don't forget, subscribe to the podcast on whichever podcasting platform you prefer. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, like our videos, hit the bell so you're notified when our videos go live. All right, so I will briefly preview the Yankees-Cardinals pitching matchups for the weekend. And I'll update you on how some of the guys are doing during their rehab assignments or where they are because some guys got moved. But first, oh boy, the Yankees losing 2 out of 3 to the Nationals. Yeah. When this month began, remember how we were discussing, oh, this is the easy part of their schedule. They're playing teams like the White Sox. They're playing teams like the Rockies. They're playing teams like the Nationals. They won 2 out of 3 against the Rockies. They won 2 out of 3 against the White Sox. Should have been a sweep. And that one game against the White Sox was highly embarrassing because in their last 36 games, they are 4-32. One of those wins against the Yankees. Good job, guys. And then this week, the Yankees go down to Washington. And it's not like Mr. Smith going to Washington. Not at all. The funniest thing about this series to me is the fact that when we were looking at the pitching matchups, you figure out of those games, the Cole-Corbin game should have been the one that the Yankees win easily. No. Why would that be? That was a reverse lock right there. If anyone bet on the opposite of Cole beating Corbin, you probably did a good job with whatever money that you won. I think it's funny that we all had questions about Nestor on the road, even though he's been pitching well, how would he do? And, the Nats, he got hit hard. He was bailed out by his defense. But out of the 3 starters, he did the best, right? Cole giving up home runs to people you've never heard of. If you're a Yankee fan and don't pay attention to the Nationals. Rodon doing Rodon things as usual. Any bit of adversity that he sees, he just collapses. It's getting annoying at this point. It is August 29th. And the excuses that this team tends to use for certain things and how games go are not going to fly in October. Record-wise, the Yankees are still one of the best teams in baseball. They're still up on the Orioles. But there's these little things that they do that winning teams shouldn't do. And it's just frustrating to watch. It's really frustrating to watch. The other night, the 4 errors. I mean, my goodness, that was one of the sloppiest games I've ever seen in my life. I see T-ball players playing better than the Yankees were playing the other night. And T-ball players don't even know what direction they're running. The coaches have to push them to first base. So it's irritating watching this team do what they do on a nightly basis. It's also irritating to see the manager do the same stuff over and over again. It's August 29th. DJ LeMahieu has proven time and time again that he is pretty much done. That game against the Phillies was like the last blip on an EKG monitor or on a heart monitor at a hospital. That was DJ LeMahieu's up moment before the crash. Why is he in the lineup nightly. I'll give Boone credit for actually pinch hitting for him in the ninth, but if you have to pinch hit for someone in the ninth because you know they're not going to hit, why is he starting? Well, I don't care about the money, because I can't remember how long ago it was that Boone said, we're giving him some runway. He started late. We need to see more at bats. We're at the point where we've seen enough DJ LeMahieu at bats to know that he is not doing anything. He's not doing anything. So I don't understand. Like, tell me in the comments, in the chat, if I'm crazy. Am I crazy for thinking this? But I don't think I am. Why do we have Ben Rice if you're just going to waste him? And people are going to say, oh, he's not hitting. Of course he's not hitting, because he's not in the lineup consistently, because Boone insists on putting the corpse of DJ LeMahieu into the lineup. I love what DJ LeMahieu did for us all those years ago. But that was 2019 and 2020. We are in 2024. The man cannot hit. He's consistently hitting into double plays. He's popping out to the to foul territory in big spots. Enough of giving him all these at-bats. What are you doing? Yes, he's owed money. Who cares? I don't care about the money. It's not my money. Just because the Yankees were dumb enough to give him that contract, it's not my fault. Why do I have to sit here and watch him play? Like, we're the ones who are getting aggravated watching this stuff. The Yankee ownership doesn't care. They'll pretend to care, but they don't care. They're making enough money where this doesn't bother them. This doesn't bother them. But it bothers us, and it's frustrating. Thank you, Devin. Devin says, even if you were wrong, it still wouldn't make that crazy. Yeah, honestly, dead on. I mean, you just have to cut the dead weight. You really do. So, as I said, it's August 29th. We have a couple days, right? A couple of more days before. Well, all right. I saw a tweet from someone from a prospect account saying that Jason Dominguez could be called up now and it wouldn't ruin his rookie status. So I don't know why the Yankees are waiting until September 1st to do it officially. Just do it already. Do it. I'm sick of seeing Verdugo. I'm sick of seeing LeMahieu. Just cut your losses. You don't have to play these guys all the time. You really don't. Rizzo's on his way back. He's playing in Somerset. Is he doing great? No, but anything's got to be better than DJ LeMahieu at first base. Anything. A statue would be better. He makes plays. I'll give him that. DJ's good defensively at first, considering his age and his height and everything else, because it's not that easy to move around when you're 6'4" and 35. But I just can't handle seeing him take all these at-bats when there are other people on the team who probably could take them. And because of last night's loss, the Yankees are now 17-22 against left-handed starters. The amazing thing about the Yankees is how they have issues with bad teams meaning under 500 teams, but they're still really good against teams above 500, which bodes well for the playoffs. But it's still frustrating. When you're a good team, you should beat everyone. You shouldn't play down to your competition. I will say the Nats have some exciting guys on their team. They're fast. They're scrappy. It's nice to see guys like that play baseball. You wish the Yankees would have more guys like that on their team. All the stolen bases. That was another thing. I'm not going to blame Austin Wells for that. That seemed to be Rodon's fault. All those stolen bases. He was just a mess last night. And the Yankees are paying him to be a number 2 starter. And there have only been brief glimpses of him pitching like a number 2 starter in the nearly 2 seasons that he's been here. It's just frustrating. Coming up in segment 2, I'm going to complain more about this. And you guys can complain in the comments. I will read your comments. So put your comments up and we'll have a discussion. We'll make this a discussion. We will commiserate. We will bitch and moan. We'll complain. And it's so funny to think about how we're complaining about a first place team, but we have a lot of complaints and they're very valid, right? I think so. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, hit the notification so you know when our videos go up. Also, reply to the pinned comment on our videos Monday through Thursday if you would like your questions answered for Fan Mail Friday, which is tomorrow. So, as I said earlier in the show, leave them below. I didn't put the pinned comment, but just ask questions in the comments. If you want your questions answered in segment 1, you can join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. The link is in the description. You'll get text from us. You can text us questions and reactions to the games. One of our insiders, unfortunately, was at the game last night in Washington. She was excited about going, not so excited about sitting through it. So there's a 14-day free trial for the Insiders Club, and it's a lot of fun. Coming up next, more complaining about the Yankees. When you're taking in America's pastime, don't forget to hydrate with Liquid IV's Popsicle Firecracker flavor, a surefire summer hit. Get hydrated with electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients from the #1 powered hydration brand in America, because baseball and summer go together like Liquid IV and indulgent hydration. Blast off with the iconic summer flavor of Popsicle Firecracker, a festive blend of citrus-fueled lemon lime, tart cherry, and raspberry flavors. And you can find all your favorite flavors on their website. They have lemon lime, they have pina colada, they have tropical punch. That's a good one. The firecracker flavor is actually very good. I've had it a few times. You just tear, pour, and live more. One stick and 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. It also has 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink and 8 essential vitamins and nutrients. So no more thirsty summers when you indulge in hydration with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code MLB at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code MLB at liquidiv.com. Locked On Yankees is also sponsored by Gametime. Now, do you love going to live events? If you do, there's something about the energy being there in person that's unbeatable. I personally have so many fun memories at Yankee Stadium, and I'm looking forward to making more of them this year. In fact, I'm going this weekend to see them play the Cardinals. Hopefully they'll do okay. And with Gametime, getting the best tickets has never been easier. They have a new feature called Gametime Picks, which does all the hard work for you. So instead of searching through thousands of tickets, Gametime Picks filters out the fluff and shows you only the absolute best deals on great seats. So, as I said, I'm going this weekend, and I was looking through the app for Yankee tickets, and there's a super deal. So there are really incredible prices for seats that I couldn't afford normally. And Gametime breaks it down into different tiers. So whether you want a premium experience or you just want to get the best ticket for your dollar, it's all right there. And one of my favorite features, you get the panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy it, so you know exactly what you're looking at. And they have all-in pricing. You toggle on it, and it shows you the full price, and you have no surprises when you check out. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Now, terms apply. Again, create an account, use code LOCKEDONMLB, LOCKED. ONMLB for $20 off. Download Gametime today. What time is it? It's game time. Welcome back. Thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen every day. For your second listen, enjoy the Locked On MLB podcast. Host Paul Sullivan, aka Sully, is here daily to provide national expertise with his trademark humor to help you get ready for the MLB playoffs. They're almost here. We're only really a month away. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, who has it all covered every single day on Locked On MLB, available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Easier said than done. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And don't forget, you can catch every pitch of the Yankees hometown broadcast with SiriusXM. Just download the SXM app and search the word Yankees. Let's go back to bitching about DJ LeMahieu. Just kidding. I know Boone is a player's manager, right? So he's the type of guy who is, the players love him because he's very supportive. He doesn't yell at them. He doesn't call them out in public. You know, some managers kind of do that to their players. Boone has never been the type to do that, even though he's had some instances where he should. And he just, that's the problem with Boone, right? It's like he doesn't want to hurt these guys. Like, he doesn't want to hurt their feelings. You know, and I know DJ LeMahieu isn't trying to play horribly. He's trying. It's just not working out. And if it's not working out and he can't hit, stop putting him in the lineup day after day, night after night. I just, I don't understand. Yeah, see, this is what I was mentioning before, Evan. Boone pinch hits Cabrera in the 9th inning last night. What about the night before? Why isn't he in the lineup more? It's all about the matchups. It's about like reverse splits. Like he gave that excuse with DJ the other night as to why he was in the lineup and why they didn't pinch hit him in the 9th. And we talk about it all the time. There are instances where it's good to have a lot of numbers, and then there are instances where it's not good to have a lot of numbers because you have decisions like that. It's like, oh, DJ's good there? Okay. And then he hits a pop fly to foul territory, just past first base. And even in last night's game, you know, not that the Yankees, it wouldn't have been easy for the Yankees to come back, but you have the double steal and then Cabrera swinging, and it's just, it's almost like, I say this too a lot. It's almost like they don't remember fundamentals either. You know, I mean, you see that in the games where they're sloppy in the infield and the outfield, where they don't make good plays, or they make stupid mistakes on the base paths. And whose fault is that? I know they're grown men. They're professionals. They're getting paid money to play a child sport. But at some point, the manager has to say something to these guys and not just sit back and let them get away with this. If you want to win a World Series, you can't make 4 errors in a game. If you want to win a World Series, you need to know what to do when your teammates are double stealing. You know? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. And yes, please subscribe, ring the bell. The notifications will help you. And I apologize for there not being a show yesterday. I was not feeling well at all. It got worse last night. I wanted to do a live stream after the game, and I just did not feel well at all. So I went to bed early. So I apologize for that. I'm going to make up for it. I will do a live stream after Saturday's game. So, oh yes, Papa Rick, thank you for noticing. I got them last week. Got a new prescription. I have a new doctor, and yeah. So Papa Rick, for the audio listeners, says, I just realized new glasses. Yes. And I'm going to have more new glasses now that I have a new prescription. So the eye infection that I had on July 4th that sent me to the ER actually helped because I got a new prescription from my new ophthalmologist, and now I can get cool new glasses. So yes. Warren France WFSN. It's very simple, and it's been an issue since month 2 of the season for me. This team can't hit left-handed pitching. It's absolutely insane. Yes, they're 17-22 in games against left-handers. I don't understand it either. It's really, really, really odd. And it just so happened, we mentioned the other night that most of the Nats starters are lefties, so no matter what combo of starters they were going to throw up there, it was more than likely that you would see either all 3 be lefties or, 2 out of 3 be lefties, because that's how many they have in their rotation. And yes, I don't understand why it's such a problem for them. It's very, very odd. And again, it's a strange season for a lot of teams, I have to say. I think this is going to be the first time in a bit where there's not going to be a team that gets 100 wins, unless someone goes on a crazy run in September, but I don't think that's going to happen. And you see a lot of the top teams are having ebbs and flows, like bigger than usual. Like there isn't a team that's really running away right now. Like there are a whole bunch of teams at the top of the standings overall in Major League Baseball where the records are very close. You know, there's no clear winner. There's no clear best team in baseball. Some years you have that. Obviously, you know, in some years it's perfectly clear. 98, the Yankees, 2001, the Mariners. But a lot of the top teams have had issues where they've looked bad against teams that are not supposed to look bad against. But it feels like the Yankees are really showing that this year. The fact that they have a nearly 500 record, I think there's only like a 4-game difference in their record against teams under 500. And their record against teams above 500 is really good. They're also better on the road than they are at home, which is another oddity, I guess you can say, about this team. But they need guys who, and I can't stand using this word, but they need guys who are clutch, really. Where's that? Like, it's great when guys are hitting home runs and piling on in earlier innings, but when you're down in the 9th inning and you need something to get going, you need guys to do things. And I feel like they don't have that right now. There was also another number that I saw on Twitter last night that was just in my head, but because I was just saying stuff, I lost it. So hopefully it will come back before the show ends. Yeah. Yeah, see, this is the problem. Warren says Astros top 2 pitchers are lefties. Just looking ahead, not a great matchup. If Glaber and Giancarlo can't do damage, it's going to be a repeat of the last 6 years. Yep, pretty much. Or 7 years at this point. It's just, it's the complacency. Again, it does feel silly to complain about a team that is close to winning their 80th game of the season and who's in first place, but, you know, barely in first place because the Orioles don't want to take first place and the Yankees kind of want to give it to them. But there are legitimate complaints that we can make when you watch this team day in and day out, things that they don't do right. You know, the manager stuck in his ways and he keeps trotting out players who are not doing anything. Hopefully things will change in a couple days when they call up Jason Dominguez, which I'm assuming is going to happen. Clark Schmidt pitched for Scranton on Wednesday night. He did fine. 5 strikeouts, I believe, 1 run, 3 hits. Rizzo, not really hitting with Somerset. He did have, I think he has 2 home runs, but he's striking out a ton. So I don't know if you're going to see him right away. I think they might wait for the Yankees to go to Wrigley to bring him up. John Birdie's doing stuff in Somerset. There were also quotes from Boone yesterday. Oh, yes. Let me mention this before I go to this break because this really annoyed me. The beat writers were asking him about the bullpen, and I think he was talking about Scott Effross. He's coming back from injury and he is rehabbing. And I'm going to look through my phone and find oh, okay, wait. There are more things that were annoying on Twitter about the Yankees, but he said something to the effect of they would have to like move things around to get Effross in. You have Bickford, you have Meza, you have guys that you can get rid of in the bullpen for Scott Effross. What is he even talking about? Of course I can't find it. I just remember that it really, really, really annoyed me that Boone was so, oh, well, we have all these other guys and, you know, it's hard to move things around. Again, some of these guys that you brought in were just brought in because they're bodies and they can throw a ball, but they're not high leverage bullpen guys. So yes, you can get rid of them if you need to. I don't understand. I feel like I say that all the time, but I really don't. Like, there's some times where Boone says stuff and I just think to myself, what is he talking about? Okay. We're going to discuss this more. And then we're going to look at the pitching matchups because the Cardinals are coming to Yankee Stadium to face the Yankees. So we're going to talk about that next. PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps on PrizePicks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. You can now win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000. You sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. So preseason football is basically over, but you can pick more or less on 2024 season stats on PrizePicks. Will Patrick Mahomes throw more or less than 4,300 yards? Will CJ Stroud's sophomore season result in more or less than 5,150 yards? I can read. Enter your season picks before week 1 kicks off. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code LOCKEDONMLB and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code LOCKEDONMLB on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game. Welcome back to Locked On Yankees. Remember, you can catch every pitch of the Yankees hometown broadcast with SiriusXM. Just download the SXM app and search the word Yankees. I'm going to look at more of your comments. Yes. Evan asks, will we see Dominguez, Birdie, Rizzo, Efros, and Hamilton anytime soon? We will see, I would hope, we would see Dominguez September 1st. Rizzo, as I said, they might wait for Wrigley. Might. Not positive, but they might wait for the Wrigley trip. And from what he was saying, it sounds like he thinks he's going to be activated for that. So I think that's what's going to happen there. Birdie, Birdie is kind of tough because where are you going to put him? Right? Mainly because of Boone and his decision-making and the front office and their decision-making. You know, you think you'd want Birdie on the bench because he runs really fast and you want him on the bases, but they insist on playing guys out of loyalty, I guess. And why do they have loyalty to Alex Verdugo? Because he's friendly with Aaron Judge? No. I don't want to see Verdugo in the lineup after September 1st. I want Dominguez in there. I want Dominguez in left. I want Dominguez in the lineup. I don't want to see Verdugo at all. He hasn't showed me anything. Nothing. Nothing. Hamilton, they had put him on the 60-day IL, but then he was also pitched. Then they activated him in, was it Somerset? I think it was Somerset. Somerset has everyone. They had Clark Schmidt until yesterday. Then he went up to Scranton, but they had Rizzo, they had Birdie, they had Efros. It was like it was basically like half the team was Yankees. So, yeah. Christina Vivana says, I feel like not pinch hitting for DJ just shows a lack of urgency that has plagued the team during Boone's entire tenure. Won't change and won't win us a World Series. Same story night in and night out. If you're not watching me on YouTube, I'm nodding my head during that entire comment because it's 100% true. I've said it billions of times on this show. If you're an everydayer, you know. They will not win with Aaron Boone as their manager. They will not win with Aaron Boone as their manager. And I'll say it a third time, just so the universe hears me. They will not win a World Series with Aaron Boone as their manager. And it's true. There is a lack of urgency. And it feels like it's that way all the time. Oh, if we make the playoffs, it's a crapshoot. Cool. It's a crapshoot. And then you don't hit in the playoffs and you get embarrassed in the playoffs, like in 2022. Is that going to happen again in 2024? It could. It could. Oh, and the Yankees have a really terrible record if they give up runs in the first inning. I think it's something really, really bad. Like the only teams that are worse than them are the White Sox, Pirates, and who was the third team? Like they're really bad when they give up runs in the first inning. When they score runs in the first inning, obviously they're better. But when they give up runs in the first inning, for some reason, they just can't come back from that and they lose a lot. So, yes, he is. So he shouldn't be out of the lineup ever. He should be like Tex and Posada. This too, Christina. Not only the lack of urgency, but some bizarre misguided loyalty to certain players like DJ or Volpe, but not toward those who earned it like Oswaldo. Yeah. There is misguided loyalty. I mentioned it just now with Verdugo. Why are you loyal to this guy? He's really only going to be here 1 year. They're not going to resign him. So what? I don't understand why you keep putting him in the lineup. He's also not doing anything. He hasn't done much of anything since May. Is that enough time to prove that, hey, maybe this was a mistake? I think so. I know it's a long season, but same thing with DJ. They wanted to see a certain amount of at-bats. Well, we're past that amount of at-bats, and he's not doing anything. So why do you keep putting him in and day out? And I said it the other night. Was it the other night or last week? There are certain times when you see the lineup, even just seeing the lineup before the game is even played, you think to yourself, well, they're not winning this. That's the most horrible way to think about your baseball team. But it's gotten to that point, right? When you see DJ LeMahieu taking up valuable space in the lineup, when you see Alex Verdugo batting where he's batting, and you think to yourself, great. Boone is starting them in a hole already. That's basically what it feels like. And also, this might be controversial, but enough with the personal catcher for Cole. He doesn't need Trevino. He can have Wells catch him. Because what good did it do the other night? Didn't do anything. You were giving up home runs to people we've never heard of. All right, quickly, the preview, Yankees-Cardinals. Friday night, Eric Fetty against Marcus Stroman. Saturday afternoon, Kyle Gibson against Will Warren. Poor Will Warren. He's going to be in there. And then Sunday, Miles Michaelis against TBD. TBD, he's having an okay year. Oh, the start times for those games. Friday night, 7:05, Saturday, 1:05, and Sunday, 1:35 as usual. Oh, thank you. Christina's wishing me a happy belated birthday. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. It's not been a good week. Yankees, by the way, the Yankees won on the night of my birthday, but I'm one of those people. I was born at 10:50 at night, so I was not 50 until 10:50 at night, and they won before I actually turned 50. But since I've turned 50, they haven't won a game. You can blame me. It's my fault. I'm just kidding. Thank you, guys, for all the late birthday wishes. I appreciate it. Once again, I apologize for there not being a show yesterday. I didn't feel well. I still actually don't feel that great, but I made it through. I made it through the show. And what did I do most of the time? I complained about DJ LeMahieu and Aaron Boone because what else is there to do than complain about DJ LeMahieu and Aaron Boone? But I'd like to thank you all for joining me this afternoon. I appreciate it. And I will be doing a stream on YouTube on Saturday as a makeup show for Wednesday. I will do it after the game ends on Saturday afternoon. So it's a 1:05 start. I don't see it lasting more than, well, or I don't want to jinx them, but say it ends around 3:30. I'll do the stream at 4. So look for it around 4 o'clock. Okay. And one more time, you can catch every pitch of the Yankees hometown broadcast with SiriusXM. Just download the SXM app and search the word Yankees. And I would like to thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. Now go check out the Locked On MLB podcast. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, who has it all covered every single day. You can find the link to Locked On MLB in the description once I get it up there, so you don't need to search. It's part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. So that'll do it for this live edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias, and Brian and I will see you tomorrow for Fan Mail Friday. Thanks again for joining me. I appreciate it.